Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk all about feminine energy, obviously, and we're going to talk about how to use our feminine energy to prevent self-sabotage. So I know a girl who had a kind of like a rocky life, you know. She had a baby with a guy that left her and really was in a kind of dramatic, drama filled life, lots of drama. And she was church girl too, so she's started moving more towards that. And she found a really good guy who was from the church, and she was like, yes, finally, I have a good guy and I can settle down and I can be settled and I can be, really good and relaxed and stable. But what happened is the good guy who treated her really well, who, he just loved being married and loved being married to her. He raised her son as if it was his own son. He did all the things. She ended up sabotaging the relationship by just cheating on him, basically, with multiple people. And it was a level of sabotage where things was just too good for her that she couldn't even, she kind of just got bored and couldn't even receive the stability, receive the love, the consistent love, receive the feeling of safety. It was unfamiliar to her. She was kind of on a set point for drama. And because of that, she had to create it in her life. And this was all, of course, subconscious. So what I'm talking to you about is frequency. We all have a set point. Our frequency is at a set point. And when we start to get into higher realms and we start to receive the blessings we've been praying for, and we start to receive all of these things, if we don't expand our container, if we don't expand our ability to receive, we can sabotage, and it's on a very subconscious level. We have to kind of always even out back to that frequency that feels familiar to us. And this is all happening on a subconscious level. So if you are a woman who, like I have a client who has a father who was in and out of her life the whole time. So as she's a little girl, her nervous system developed and is entrained in that system of not of like an instability when it comes to love from a father. And that love from a father, that her nervous system became familiarized with that feeling of the longing, the pushing and the pulling of love, and that anxiety and that feeling of instability was entrained in her nervous system. So then as an adult, subconsciously, she looked for that and she found that in relationships. All her relationships, the men that she ended up with, provided her that same feeling that she got as a little girl of instability, of that male figure not really being firm in her life. So that is about frequency. What does this have to do with feminine energy? Everything, because our feminine energy and being in our feminine, it provides us the opportunity to expand our body, expand our aura, to receive and to prepare our body and to prepare our energy to receive better. So we have to slowly build this frequency of higher realms, and frequency of luxury very much is the feminine. So the whole struggle and shit, like, no. The feminine is about ease, it's about flow. Think about water. Water does not try to, burn its way through anything. It's gonna find the path of least resistance. And so when we are in our feminine energy, we are able to prepare our body to receive better things. We prepare ourselves, and because feminine energy is the energy that is present in the present moment, and it's process oriented, so it is a process that we go through So it's not, doesn't happen all at once, right? So we are slowly, little by little, expanding our container, little by little, piece by piece, staying present, staying grounded in the moment. But piece by piece, we're expanding our container to be able to receive better things. And we do that through first giving to ourselves. So being in the feminine is about, very much about, nurturing yourself, filling up your cup with great things, filling up your body with nutrient-dense food, with alkaline food, with plenty of water and rest, filling up your closet with clothes that make you feel good and make you feel beautiful and hug your body in the right places. It's filling up your life with people that love you, people that cherish you, people that find you very easy to love. And filling yourself up with those things prepares your energetic body to receive more, better things. So in terms of self-sabotage, we can see that as we continue to prepare our body, as we continue to expand our container, as we continue to feel good and raise our frequency by being in the feminine energy, then when something is a low vibe, when something is off, when something is bad, when someone talks to us crazy, it's gonna be like, that doesn't feel good, that doesn't feel familiar. Matter of fact, I don't like that, and cut it out. Like, remove that person, block them, or don't be around them, or set a boundary and be like, I don't like when you treat me this way or talk to me like this. So it is about really a frequency, an ability to receive. That is how we prevent ourselves from self-sabotaging, because we can be like, hold up. We have that moment of reflection, like, what is happening? Am I sabotaging this moment right now by cutting this relationship off, by going and doing the other thing, even though this thing is obviously going to bring me into the next level? Where am I being scared? Where am I having a fear of being seen? Like, all of that stuff, you can start to see, you can start to feel into that frequency of when you're lowering yourself down, when you're, how am I hiding? Where am I hiding in my life? Where do I have a fear in my life of being loved, of being seen, of being vulnerable? And the feminine is there to help us to open our heart, open our aura, open our body to receive good things, because it feels good, because we're already filling ourselves up with the good things. So one of the ways that I think that people can begin to self-sabotage too is by not being very mindful of who they are around and not having good examples. So it is all about entrainment. What do I mean by entrainment? Entrainment is like when you're running, let's say you're running a race, and there's someone who's running faster than you. If you speed up to them and you're close enough to them, you can entrain in their energy and get more energy from them, and that will make you run faster. It is kind of like being, like how they say you are a culmination of the closest 6 people to you, because you're entrained in that energy. That's why as women, as parents, we always want to look at our children's friends, because our children are in training in that energy. So be smart, invite those kids over and talk to them and look at them and see what they're about. Because entrainment is very important, because a lot of us, I'll speak for myself and all my clients, we didn't exactly have a role model of a feminine energy woman to entrain into her energy. Meaning that the woman, oftentimes, not always, right? But a lot of the times, our parents and our parents' parents were women who had really, really rough lives, who suffered a lot, because the feminine is still emerging and still coming out of having no rights, having no say, being silenced and suppressed and oppressed in many ways. So as we are emerging out of this, a lot of the women, we don't have an example of a happy woman that was loved the right way. We don't have, many of us don't have an example of a woman that was actually happy and in her feminine. Very much I observe a lot of the energy of suffering, the energy of like being the servant, of not being loved the right way, of not being cherished, of not being honored. So we can observe this and be like, hey, I don't want to be like that. Like, I'm running over here. I don't want that. All of that I don't want. So in order to prevent the self-sabotage is really to decide on what we want. Decide on it and be very clear in what we want and what we want to build our life and who we want to be and how we want to serve the people that we're meant to serve. That is very important. And it is important to expand your energy to be able to receive the good things that the divine has for you, and to expect good things for yourself by giving yourself good things so that your body is very used to that. And what I also see and what I can observe with regard to self-sabotage in relationships, I see that it is very easy to blame the other person. That is our default, right? It's them. They did this, they did that. But it would be wise for us to see the places in which we have responsibility for the relationship, and we have responsibility for our part in it, and the ways in which we show up sabotaging it. And so I have an example of someone who they were betrayed by their spouse, and they felt very betrayed by it, obviously. But when you look deeper into the energetics, what was really going on, if the person can be honest and feel into where this is honest, where this can be for you, and it's very hard to see this in ourselves, but feel into where was I betraying myself, because the relationship is a mirror. What I observed is that the spouse betrayed them after they betrayed themselves. What do I mean by betray yourself? I mean that you completely let go of your own identity, your own wants, your own needs, your own ground, your own boundaries. You just dissolved into the relationship and completely abandon yourself. And so therefore that person felt that. They felt all of your feelings and all of yourself and all of you on them, and that does not feel good. We want to relate as two whole beings, and so it feels like too much. And so if you abandon yourself, if you're not fully in your energy and you're just the relationship, it can be very difficult to relate to, and the person will run, and they did. So looking on the outside, it's easy to blame the person that stepped out. I'm not saying that it's right, it's not. But there was, in the deeper energetics of it, there was an abandoning of self. There was that element there too. And that is caused by feelings of unworthiness, of feelings of like, I have to give all of myself. I have to compensate for whoever I think I'm not. And just give and give and give and give and show up and compromise and you know, always compromise and always give in and not stand my ground and not say what I want, what I need, and have those firm boundaries. Even, you know, with any relationship, we want someone who has strong boundaries. We don't want somebody who's gonna just lay down and be a doormat. That's not sexy. It's nice to be with someone that has that sense of self, that strong sense of self. You feel safe with that person because they have a strong foundation holding them up. And oftentimes we can think, oh, they'll love me more if I just cohese all the time. It's actually the opposite. They actually love you more when you have these strong boundaries, when you stand your ground on, that's not going to work for me. And it is about being a high value woman, being a high value person, and seeing yourself that way and showing up that way in your strong boundaries. So we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to be honest in our relationships through communication of what's working, what's not working, and it's okay. I think that when you give someone the gift of honesty, that is the greatest gift that you can give them, even if it's going to hurt their feelings, even if it's going to ruffle some feathers. Because wouldn't you rather someone tell you the truth? Because then you can actually trust them. Then you can actually really let go, because you know no matter what, this person is like going to be honest with me. But first, that starts with being honest with ourselves. And so the feminine is so beautiful and so brilliant in so many ways. I can go on and on and on, because the feminine is about slowing down. It is about having these moments of reflection, of going deeper, so that we understand ourselves and understand the deeper layers of the energetics of what's going on. It's not just what we see on the surface. The feminine is about going very, very deep in ourselves and into our relationships and in our life, just to have that reflection, you know, those moments of reflection and meditation and getting into our body and understanding who we are. And the more that we embrace how we show up and who we are, truly who we are, I think that that is just the greatest gift that we can give to the world. Because we're not trying to be anyone else. We're not trying to mold ourselves, but we can be honest and be strong in our own energy. And that magnetizes all the things that are meant to come to us, and the people who are supposed to come to us, our partner, our friends, our sisters. And if you have a business, that means your clients that you're meant to serve. It's when you're in your own energy and expanding that, that ability to receive. Receiving is an art. It is a feminine art to be able to receive. And I've said this on this channel many times, but I feel called to say it again. The art of receiving is very deep for us as women, because it can literally save our life. There are people who are in hospital right now. There are people who are no longer with us right now because they did not know how to receive. They only knew how to give. And that giving, that over giving and feeling alone and feeling like you have to do it all yourself, that energy, I know it very well. I used to live in that energy. That energy, it's exhausting, and it's not good for your body. It's not good for your soul, your radiance, your beauty. Like, it's just, we have to learn how to receive the support, how to pause and receive rest, how to take a moment to say, you know what, I've been going hard all day, I've been doing, let me pause and receive and give myself a bath and give myself a nourishing meal and give myself rest and give myself support and give myself a phone call if I need to call a friend because I just don't feel, well right now. I want to get something off my chest. I want to talk to somebody. I want to connect with my sister. It is that receiving, that feeling of connection, that feeling of being loved and supported, that for me personally was super hard and still is to receive in different ways, I have to really be conscious of it. Like, if someone wants to open the door for me, yeah, I think that's easy, but I think it's when someone tries to help me in some way, my automatic response is like, no, I got it. And I have to stop, to pause and be like, actually, you know what? You can't help me. It's an art and it's a process. But I know that this is the way that we need to, this is the direction that we need to move in, because the way that we've been living in this masculine world and trying to just be in our masculine energy is taking women to the grave at an early time, but it's not our time. And it's just, we're losing our radiance, we're losing our beauty, we're losing that which makes us the juicy, magnetic, glowing goddesses that we are. And that is my mission, is to bring these arts, these ancient arts back, so that we can learn them, so that we can embody them, and so that we can teach it to our daughter. Not even just by sitting down and being like, this is the art of receiving. No, we're gonna teach her by becoming it, by embodying it. And when we embody this energy, she then has someone to entrain into. She then has that energy to entrain into. And so she knows what a happy, loved, cherished, well-rested, well-watered woman looks and feels like, because that is her mother. So she's not going to have to live the struggle that we've seen our parents, maybe not you, but a lot of us, parents, grandparents, had to live through. We are the generation that has the ability to dispel all of that and to break those generational curses and to live in the bounty and abundance that is available to us. We have that ability now. So that's my mission. If you would like to join the Radiant Goddess Activation, it's a free activation for 5 days. It's going to be in the description box below. And I wish you a beautiful evening. Take care. Peace.